going on, guys? Gaby Kemsey here, and welcome to my channel. What is cryptocurrency? Why is everybody like up and about this kind of stuff? If you are a beginner and you have no idea what's going on in this space, I'm gonna help you understand what's going on so you can have the knowledge that you need in order to figure out what you want to do and whether you want to be a part of this or not. So in this video, what we're going to be covering is the very basic question, which is what the heck is cryptocurrency in the first place? Why is cryptocurrency this global phenomenon that has people rush into it in droves, and half of them don't even understand themselves what's going on? Now, my goal by the end of this video is to break it down so well that you're gonna understand it without a doubt. So let me know in the comment section after this video how I did. Let's jump right into it. If you were to Google cryptocurrency right now on Google, what would you find? On Google, it pulls up a definition that sounds something like this. Cryptocurrency is a digital currency in which encryption techniques are used to regulate the generation of units of currency and verify the transfer of funds operating independently of a central bank. What? What does that even mean? Don't worry, my friend, you're in the right place. If that sounded like gibberish, let's break this stuff down. So in order to properly define what cryptocurrency is, let's take it back, way back to when it was first created by a guy named Satoshi Nakamoto. Now, Satoshi, when he first created cryptocurrency, and he kind of did it by accident, he actually released a PSA basically saying, hey, I created a peer-to-peer electronic cash sharing system. So what does that mean? Well, it means basically what it sounds like. Peer-to-peer, meaning that he created some kind of system where a person could share money with somebody and you don't have to go through a middleman or some other organization or agency in order to do that. So for example, if you wanted to send money to your friend, or if you're Nigerian like me and you need to send money back home to your family and relatives, instead of having to wire money and go through Western Union or go through some kind of bank or go through these third-party apps like PayPal and all that kind of stuff, you can literally just send the money directly to them, which actually sounds pretty good. But most importantly, what Satoshi did was he created a decentralized cash system. Okay, so what does decentralized mean? So a centralized system is basically what you're used to. In a centralized system, there's basically an entity that helps to regulate and make sure everything is going smoothly and to plan. And we'll say, for this example, banks or a centralized system. Let's say, for example, you want to give me 50 bucks. Thank you very much. In a centralized system or a bank, what you would do is you would take that money from your account and send it to me, and it would be approved. And the centralized system is able to keep track of what's going on. They're able to see that you had 50 bucks, and then now you gave me 50 bucks, so now my account is 50 bucks richer, you're 50 bucks poorer, the transaction went through, and everybody's happy, and we go our separate ways. A centralized system can also regulate in the sense that, say I had $100 in my account, and I wanted to take that to go buy some shoes, and those shoes cost $100. So once I purchase those shoes that cost $100, the centralized system tells me, hey, you now have $0 in your account. Good job, you're broke as well. But in a decentralized system, it's decentralized. So there's no governing entity that's there to really regulate and make sure everything is going as planned. And that's what Satoshi created. Now, I know it kind of sounds like, why would we want to do that? That kind of sounds very chaotic, but hear me out. I'm going to explain in just a second. See, the problem that needed to be solved with this new decentralized frontier was, how do you regulate people who don't have anybody regulating them, right? And one of the major problems is, how do you stop from double spending? Meaning, let's take that example of me having $100 and wanting to buy some shoes. When I purchase those shoes in a centralized system, the bank, for example, tells me that I now have $0. But in a decentralized position, there's nobody there to tell me that I have $0. In fact, there's no one there to really tell me I even spent the money. So I can buy the $100 shoes and then say, no, I didn't spend $100, and I'll just go buy some more shoes and buy some more stuff. And really, there's no law and order to the whole thing. In the same sense, how do you regulate transactions between us? Like, say for example, I want to give you 50 bucks. You're welcome. But in a centralized system, when I give you the 50 bucks, the transaction is approved. There's a history of activity. There's minus 50 bucks in my account, 50 plus on your account. Everyone goes away happy. But in a decentralized system, I could just give you 25 bucks and say I gave you the 50 bucks and there's nothing you can really do about it. Like, what are you gonna do? Come to my house and beat me up for the other 25? No, you can't, because you don't know where I live. You see where the problem is with this? Like, that's why it's kind of like the wild, wild west out here. So how do you solve this problem? This is all sounding bad, like very bad. So in a centralized system where the bank is kind of like judge and jury, in a decentralized system we as the peers or the members do that job. And how that works is in a decentralized system, everybody knows everything. All transactions, all accounts, it's common knowledge and it's out in the open. So everybody in this decentralized system can see transactions and see future transactions and can really keep account of everything going on because everything is out in the open, because there's no one thing that keeps all that information. But the problem with that is if me and you are supposed to be the ones regulating me and you, that's probably not good either, because how do you keep somebody from cheating the system, or how do you keep law and order? Because if one person disagrees on a transaction, like the earlier example when I said I was going to give you $50 but I only gave you 25, the whole system will collapse on itself because there's no entity to really step in and say, no, I was wrong, like where's the other $50, or not even let the transaction go in the first place because I don't have $50 to give you. So the question is, how do you keep a consensus of people or peers honest in a system where there's no central authority to govern everybody? That's what Satoshi discovered and actually fixed with cryptocurrency. Okay, awesome. So what is cryptocurrency? Now, hold on. We're getting there. Before I can break down what exactly cryptocurrency is, we have to actually break down the terms crypto and currency. And trust me, I'm doing this for you because we're beginners here. I'm not stalling. I just need to break this down so that you can really understand this. And I want you to get this. So let's start with what exactly is currency. So when you boil it down to its pure essence of what currency really is, to the very bottom of the pot, all currency really is limited entries in a database that can't be changed unless certain requirements or specific conditions are met. And I know that didn't make any sense. So let me explain. So there are three main components when it comes to currency: accounts, balances, and databases. And to break this down, let's talk in the centralized world so you kind of understand what I'm saying first before we bring it to the digital crypto world, right? So if you have a bank account, or even if you don't, we have a couple of things in common. We have accounts, we have balances, and we have a database. Think about the money in your bank account right now, whatever it is. All that is a bunch of numbers, right? They're just entry points. Entry points in a database. My bank is a database that holds my account, and my account holds my balance. Just like your bank, if you have one, has your account as well as your balance. Now, when you think about the money in your account, what is that really? All that is just a bunch of numbers, right? And you just hope that number grows every day. All those numbers are entries in a database or numbers in a bank that can only be changed when certain specific conditions are met. Meaning your number in your bank account is only going to change unless you ask for a withdrawal, deposit some money, have some money sent to you, or get charged overdraft fees by the bank because you're broken. You don't have it right now. Trust me, I understand. We've all been there. And that's it. When you boil it down to very basic, they're just entry points in the database that can only be changed when certain specific conditions are met. So you can't have $100 in your account and then one day wake up and have $10,000 in your account if you didn't deposit $9,900 in there because it doesn't meet the specific requirements. Your bank account will stay the same, hopefully, if you decide to do nothing with it. So all money is, or currency, is verified entry into a database. It's permission to enter your bank account. Let's make this even more simple. Take my wallet, for example. My wallet or my database has accounts, either my credit cards, debit card, or cash, and these are just entries in my database. And the only way my entries are going to change are if specific conditions are met. Those conditions being, I take out $1 and give it to you, you give me $1, I find $1 on the floor and put it in here, and now the entries in my account in my database have changed. And that's all currency really is. Now, when we come to the digital world, that's all digital currency really is. They're just limited entries in a database that can only be changed by specific conditions. Now granted, it's not physical cash, that's why it's digital currency, but the same principles apply. I hope that makes sense. I hope I haven't lost you yet, and if I have, pause and go back a couple minutes and hopefully it makes sense. Now that we understand what currency is, and in a centralized system, a bank is the one that kind of regulates this stuff and makes sure everything is going okay and working the way it's supposed to. Who plays bank in a decentralized market? Well, we've already agreed that if me and you are supposed to play bank, yeah, that's That's funny, right? Like, that's not gonna happen. I love to have more faith in people, but nah. So back to this problem of how do we regulate this decentralized system? Well, like I mentioned before, Satoshi figured this out by using cryptocurrency. So the answer to who plays bank in this decentralized cryptocurrency digital world is us, the peers, and crypto. Both crypto and the peer network both together help to regulate the decentralized system. So now that we've defined what currency is, let's move a few letters to the left and figure out what crypto really means. But before I can do that, I have to explain how cryptocurrency is actually made. Cryptocurrency is made from a process called mining. Now for all you crypto gurus and pros that are out there that might be watching this video, just heads up, I'm gonna dumb this down a lot. So don't be in my comments like, oh, that's not right. Like I'm just trying to make a point so you can understand this conceptually, right? Anyways, so cryptocurrency like Bitcoin is made within the peer-to-peer network from a process called mining. And for this video, we're just gonna take Bitcoin for example, but there's a bunch of other coins out there. I'll get more into that later. Every peer has a record of all completed transactions since the dawn of the beginning of the coin to present moment. So let me use a similar example that I used earlier, but in the digital world. So let's say I want to give you 50 bucks. Once again, you're welcome. So what I would do with this cryptocurrency is say, hey, I want to give you 50 bucks. So what that is a transaction, right? A going to B. What happens is with that transaction, I sign with my electronic signature and it's sent to you. The transaction is now broadcasted throughout the network. Because remember, within this decentralized system, everybody knows about all transactions and all that kind of stuff. So it's sent out through the network, but it's pending, okay? Now, when a transaction is pending, all things can happen to it. People can mess with it because it's not complete yet. It hasn't been solidified yet. In fact, this transaction does not happen until it's actually confirmed. When it's confirmed, it's locked tight, it's sealed, it's irreversible, it's a done deal. You get the 50 bucks I sent you. I can't refund it or ask for it back unless you want to send it back. Like it's complete. So in a way, you can say crypto is all about confirmation, because once I say I want to give you 50 bucks of digital cash and I sign it with my digital signature and it goes out to the whole network saying, hey, Gabe wants to give 50 bucks to this guy or gal, it's still pending, and the only way it can be confirmed is by miners. Miners, or people who do mining, as in crypto mining, are the only people who can confirm transactions. And basically they walk around with a big stamp in their hand and they stamp and approve transaction. And once a miner approves a transaction, they are rewarded with a token or a cryptocurrency, which in this case, Bitcoin. So remember, only miners can confirm transactions, and transactions don't mean diddly squat unless they're confirmed. All miners do, their job is to just confirm transactions, and anytime they confirm a transaction, they get a Bitcoin. Their job is to take a transaction, stamp their approval on it, and let the network know. Now, once a transaction like me and you deciding to give or take money is confirmed, that transaction becomes a block. Think of this block as like indestructible. It's done, it's written, it's stone. Transaction is approved, it's complete, it can't be reversed. And that block is now added to the blockchain. Now, if you don't know what a blockchain is, I'm just giving you a very general definition just for the purposes of this video. But all the blockchain is a history of transactions that people have made with this coin. Because remember how I said everyone in this decentralized network has access to all the transactions? Well, think of like all these transactions all connected to each other, and they form a chain, a blockchain. And anytime that transaction is confirmed by a miner, that transaction becomes another block added to the blockchain. So it's basically a history of the lifespan of the coin, as well as the activity that's happened with that coin amongst the peers within the network. So if everybody's after Bitcoin and miners get rewarded Bitcoin just by approving transactions, then, I mean, why can't me or you become a miner? In all honesty, you can. In fact, anybody can be a miner. Because see, in this decentralized world, there's no governing authority that says you there are gonna be a miner and you there are just gonna be the people who trade and collect and spend the Bitcoin. There's no, building, printing out dollar bills and establishing it throughout the society. It's kind of like everyone doing their thing. It's decentralized. There's nobody really governing anything except us governing ourselves. The only problem with being a miner is that it's really hard and really expensive, and it's It's a lot of work. In that sense, everybody can be a miner if they really wanted to, in theory. So what Satoshi, the creator of Bitcoin, decided to do was he decided to set some rules. And the rule was, if you want to be a miner and mine for Bitcoin, meaning that if you want to be a miner who approves transactions and as a result and reward earn a certain amount of Bitcoin, then you have to invest some computer power, a lot of computer power. And once again, dumbing this down a lot, if you want to mine for Bitcoin, you're going to have to invest a lot of computer power and play a game. Now, this game is a very algorithmic, intense game that basically only computers can figure out. And the whole purpose of this game is to find something. Think of it as like a key. This kind of reminds me of that movie Ready Player One. If you watched it, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, just ignore that. But Satoshi created this computer game basically saying if you can find this key, which is called a hash, then you can approve transactions. And if you approve a transaction, you get a Bitcoin. I don't know all the details about the game or the algorithm or all that kind of stuff. All I know is that it's very hard, it's very mathematical. The game is a crypto logic puzzle that miners compete to solve. And anytime this puzzle is solved, it gets harder and harder and harder. So you need more and more computer power. So you basically need these huge servers. Like there are literally buildings out there of just computers hooked up to wires and servers that are so noisy, and all these computers are doing this a massive amount of energy to play this game, to find these keys, to be able to confirm transactions, to add to this blockchain, to be rewarded a Bitcoin or whatever cryptocurrency that they're mining for at the time. Have I lost you yet? I hope not, but if I did, I understand. Go back and watch this again. This is the only way to create valid Bitcoin. The only way is by playing this cryptologic game with a lot of computer power. Now you can always buy from somebody else or you can always trade Bitcoins, but to create them, this is the only way to do it, is by playing Satoshi's game with a lot of computer power, completing the missions basically. So to tie this all up in one big finale, what the heck is cryptocurrency? You remember my definition of currency? They're just entries in a database that can only be changed if certain parameters are met, like the dollar bill in my wallet. Basically, cryptocurrency are entries in a decentralized peer-to-peer database where the governing banking power of this decentralized system is very secure, strong cryptography. Cryptocurrencies are built on cryptography. They're not built by people or they're not made by trust. They're made by hard, solid, cold, calculated math. And that's it. Really hard, algorithmic math that can only be solved by supercomputers, and you have a greater chance of having an asteroid come from space and smash on your house, blowing it to 1,000 pieces, than having somebody find a Bitcoin address and compromising it based off of this cryptological game that miners have to play in order to get approved Bitcoins after approving transactions. Woo! That's a mouthful. Wow. And it doesn't stop there. I mean, the rabbit hole just goes deeper, and we'll be talking about this in other videos. Like, there are different types of cryptocurrencies. There's Bitcoin and Ethereum and Litecoin and Ripple, and there's thousands of them out there basically by now. And the whole thing about this cryptocurrency, like which one is the best, which one should I invest in, all that kind of stuff, which we'll be talking about in later videos. The thing is, these cryptocurrencies have different properties and different components that they all run on. Think of it like credit card reward programs, right? Like, you know how there's some credit cards that they'll give you 2% cash back or 5% cash back at certain restaurants, and other credit cards give you travel points or miles. There's a bunch of different credit card companies, each have different perks, and you just pick one that you kind of like the best or the one that you're going to take more advantage of. Same thing kind of goes for all these coins. They all have different properties and they all have different benefits, and they all have different stuff that people believe in and people want to see more of, or people like, and that's why they want to invest in that, because they're investing in the technology and the benefits that cryptocurrency is backing. But we won't get into all that right now. All right, that's basically it. But here's a final thought, just to have you think about this whole Bitcoin decentralized thing and, you know, what's the big deal? If you really think about it, cryptocurrency is more accurate and more currency than the stuff that we have in our bank account. Because think about it, think about the money in your bank account. All that is are numbers in an account, but these numbers in your account are in a database that's controlled by people you don't know, who've never seen before, that are controlled by rules that you may not even know, that could possibly change at any time, you know. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying, you know, bring down the banks and all this kind of stuff. Like, obviously they're there for a reason, but just to help you think about these things with Bitcoin and cryptocurrency and what's becoming of this whole decentralized thing, we, the peers, are the people that kind of control everything. But that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this video was helpful. I hope it gave you some insight on what cryptocurrency really is, breaking down some of the history and really kind of just helping you tie it all together. So hopefully you kind of understand it in a better way. And hey, if you don't understand it, still can't get it, go back, rewatch this video. But do me a favor before you go out and do whatever else you're about to do here. Now, if you like this video, give me a like. It'll help my channel grow. I really appreciate that. And also, don't forget to leave a comment down below. Let me know what your thoughts on the video was. I might have missed something that was important or not, I don't know, but leave it down in the comment section below. Let me know. Share this video with other people, people that are in the crypto space, people that, you know, maybe you want to get people into the crypto space and you need a video to help them understand it. Send them this video. And finally, don't forget to subscribe to my channel where I'll be bringing you more tips. Go back to the beginning of this video, listen to that definition again, and see if it makes a little bit more sense. I hope it does. Once again, guys, my name is Gabe Kemezi. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video.